All right, sorry about that. This is gonna be the part 2 of delusions. I had to create some space on my phone. All right, we back. So they thinking they sincerely right, and based upon your level of intelligence, you're like, nah, you're wrong. But you don't have the ability to say that, because unless you type into someone's comment section, then you might voice your opinion or your education or your knowledge. But other than that, you might just be viewing. Like me, a lot of times I've been on YouTube or watching YouTube for several years, and I never would type in the comment section. I just the ghost, the viewer. I might, if I like it, I'm gonna hit the thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably gonna be it. That's all I'm gonna do. I just got to a point where I might say good job or something like that, but I'm a behind the scene type person. Like, so for real, me basically creating a YouTube channel for myself, you know what I'm saying, is really me going out of my way because I'm such a private person. I know it kind of might seem like, oh, he's just a joyful person, I'm a very joyful person, very private person. But I personally see there's things that are not being said on a lot of these YouTube channels. And so I'm like, okay, well, let me put my little 2 cents in and my little bit of knowledge. Maybe it might be able to help somebody and stop some of the questioning because they're getting the answers. Because when it comes to relationships, like, that's a $1 billion industry. When everybody's always debating, and why does the modern woman this and why does the modern woman that? You can, that's endless material that you can create with those questions in mind, and no one actually getting the answers. And I'm sitting here always watching these videos, like, people are getting rich on these type of videos where the question of the modern woman and this and the modern man this and it's like, and they always got question marks behind it, and it's like, no, there's answers to your questions. You guys just either not seeking the answers or you guys don't want to tell the answers. So my channel is to help those who actually want to know the answers can actually have the answers, so that they know how to navigate properly and make better choices for themselves. And that's all pretty much you can do, is make a better choice for yourself, because you can get the answers and want to share it with your friends and family, and they may be under the delusion that they know the answer or they don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's a beautiful light. Get to see these beautiful dogs' coats. So basically, back to the delusions that we could be under. Let's say, for an example, everyone's talking about that one young lady who's an Olympic star. She's 40 years old, and she's the talk of the town right now, where she is kind of heartbroken because right now she's looking for love, and she's 40 years old, and she's kind of behind the curve, you know, and none of us know her personal life. She could have been in relationships or whatever the case may be. But now she's like, oh, I'm 40 years old and I don't have love, I don't have kids, and all that type of stuff. Well, one, you chose a certain path. You wanted to be an Olympic star. You wanted to be an athlete. You wanted that part of your life to be what was important. And now that life has kept moving, and you ate that life up, and you got that life, and you had that glory, and you've had those little relationships that didn't bear any fruit. Now that the song is over, you're like, dang, where did everybody go? And that is part of the delusion. And we see that in so many different people in life. Everybody be like teaching, oh, go to college, get you a good career and stuff like that. And just like what Kevin Samuel used to say, why are you going to college and getting in debt just so that your desire is to be a wife one day and to be a stay-home mom? Like, what is the purpose of actually getting in debt so that your true desire is to be a wife to a man and to be a parent that raises her children at home? And that's part of the delusion, because they're going against what they desire, but they're so headstrong that, it's contradicting to their desires. Oh, well, I don't want to depend on a man and this, that, and the other, but you want to be a wife, but you don't want to depend. You know what I'm saying? So they wrestle within themselves. So they end up building a life for themselves that is contradicting. So they end up finally getting a career. They still got the debt. And now they don't find they can't find a man that is suitable. And it's because they were moving under the delusion of it's gonna all work out. It's gonna pan out somehow, in some way, and it doesn't. It doesn't. It does not. And back to, like, with me, a question I always ask myself, because the lifestyle that I live and the choices that I make. Hey, good morning. The lifestyle that I live, a lot of my friends, they listen to what I gotta say, but they just kind of like, whatever, okay. So sometimes it kind of makes me feel like, okay, man, you doing what you do, and nobody else is really on that level. Come on, good boy. No one else is really on that level, so maybe you tripping. But I know I'm not tripping, because what's wrong with being righteous? You get what I'm saying? So I really don't question that part. But people will try to make you feel like the path that you're on, when you're meaning no harm to yourself and you're meaning no harm to others, it could be boring. It could be whatever the case, whatever label you want to put on it. But it'll have you questioning yourself. And guess what? I think it's a great thing for you to constantly question yourself. You're supposed to constantly judge yourself and question yourself to make sure that you're in line with the Creator. And a lot of times people, they don't make the time to question themselves, analyze and judge themselves, and say, and what I'm doing right, will the Lord be pleased with that? They don't want to do that. They just intentionally ignore. I was reading something last night how two righteous leaders, I saw a woman in the book of Susanna in the Apocrypha. The two righteous leaders, when they saw Susanna's beautiful body by her garden, they ignored the Lord and they just start lusting after her. So how often do we ignore the Lord and start lusting after the things that we want? Come on, boys. How often does that happen? You know what I'm saying? Lord, don't look at me right now, because this is what I want. You know what I'm saying? That's a common thing. It happened in ancient days and it's happening today. So when we start to ignore the Lord will slap a delusion on us. And not just that, we all have different fears. Come on. We all have different fears. And it said in that scripture that He will cause our fears to come upon us. So we'd be like, I hope I don't experience this. I hope I don't experience that. Well, you know what? That's exactly what you're going to experience, because you did not tremble at God's word. You did not do the necessary things that He suggested you do to be protected. You said, no, I'm going to do it my way. And the Most High is like, okay, since you want to do it your way, I'm going to make you think your way is right, and your way is going to mock you. Your way is going to destroy you. So, people, I want you guys to understand that's how some of this stuff works. You know what I'm saying? Like, my heart be going out to a lot of people when I see them in the grocery stores and stuff like that. And I see them walking slow. They don't even be that old. They could be young. Especially when I see young children who are obese. You know what I'm saying? Their parents is not educating themselves on the food. And what happens is they're giving them this processed food, and it's causing their arteries to get clogged up, and they're becoming obese. Their blood veins are swelling up, their body's inflamed, and these poor kids are only listening to what their parents is telling them, and these parents are destroying their children because of lack of knowledge. Because of lack of knowledge. And the definition of knowledge is facts. You look up the word knowledge, it says facts. And a lot of people are not looking into the facts of what some of these foods are doing to us. So these children who are only trusting their parents to have their best interests in mind are being destroyed. Like certain foods, I was only able to stop eating certain foods once I became 18 and moved out on my own. I was like, I'm not eating that. I'm not touching that no more. You know? So, like I told one of my partners I do business with, I said, hold on, let me see something. I'm losing my train of thought, looking around. Like, basically, I lost my train of thought just now. But basically, we have to be. Oh, this is what I was about to tell him. What I tell him, like, I'm under the vibration of, as a man or a woman, as you get older, you should be increasing in knowledge on all kind of stuff, on health, exercise, spirituality, you know, whatever it is, we should have some type of knowledge on. You know, we should be knowing what's going on in our world, in our country. You know, you should not be getting older. To me, it's like this. In a perfect world, to me, older men should be constantly obtaining wisdom. Older women should be constantly obtaining wisdom. But unfortunately, in this society, we're not. So now we'll find older people walking around obese, sick, when they had all these years to be studying the food, all these years to be studying their bodies, you know what I'm saying? And we went to a restaurant yesterday, and it was this like lady, she's just like almost 400 pounds, just walking into a restaurant. We're like, dang it, it looks like it hurts when she walks. But it's all her fault because she's not controlling what she's putting in her mouth. She's not analyzing it. Like, why am I like this? Why am my body so inflamed and swole? Because they're not putting two and two together that the certain foods that they put in their mouth are hurting them. Like, even this is how I do it. Let's say, for an example, sometime on my way home, I would stop by a Mexican restaurant and I would grab me a veggie nachos. And so I'm enjoying the veggie nachos, and then after I eat it, and I will feel like a little tingling in my feet, and I'm like, damn, what the hell is that? Okay, so I don't put beans on it, and I don't put chicken on it, or no any meat, but I would still feel the sensation. Okay, so then I'm like, okay, something there, right? Okay, so when I realized that it's not that I don't put meat on there, and it's not that I don't put beans on there, Okay, it's the cheese, and people don't realize that cheese has pus in it. When you start researching the different things, the different ingredients, you start to realize that certain things are created with some bull crap in it. And it's like, although that junk tastes so good, they put stuff in it to make it taste good, but they also put stuff in it to destroy us. So I'm like, damn, man, these nachos are so good, but they're harmful. Okay, so now I know it's the cheese. Now I know nothing that I had learned. The temperature of our bodies. The blood in our bodies, the temperature in our body is 98.6. So when we're eating food that is fried, it's fried at a higher temperature, cooked in ovens at a higher temperature, and you eat that stuff fresh, it's in the hundreds. The safest thing, if you're gonna eat food that is cooked, the safest bet is to eat stuff that is steamed or boiled, because water boils at 100 degrees. So when you start cooking stuff, it's at 100 degrees, which is only a couple of degrees higher than your blood. So it's not going to be as damaging to your body. Because when you're eating hot food from a restaurant and putting it in your mouth while it's still hot, you're actually raising the temperature of your blood. And these are the small things, like, I'm just a regular old human. I'm just a man, who works and who has animals, who loves himself, who loves his animals. No pool. They just saw a deer. I'm just little old me. But little old me loves little old me and respects little old me. So I'm trying to figure out how to make sure that I protect little old me, whether it's by the food I put in my mouth, whether combat, hand-to-hand combat. Look, there's a deer. No pull. It just ran across. You guys see it right there to the right. Boom, it's gone. Good boys. So basically, no pull, dirty. Calm down. No pull. This is, you got to get their mind back right to what we're doing. Hey, get your dog's mind back right, because they'll get on their mission. They'll get on their own little mission, thinking it's cool. Hey, you see that deer? Let's go get him. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Yeah, no. All you do is cry about how you want to go out. You ain't about to go hunt no deer. And deer give you the business. So basically, what was I saying? Where there's combat, weaponry, I'm just trying to be on my level in case ever I need to protect myself or those that I love. So I'm not saying, I didn't have the pleasure of doing certain stuff where people have years of going to 6 years of college, and that wasn't my path. So I did my education on my own and with the time allowed. So, some of you may be doctors, scientists that listen to this and be like, oh, he's right, or no, he's wrong, or he think he's smart, or listen to this. I'm just sharing what I got. Create a channel and share what you got. Bottom line. So, basically, as we get older, like I was saying, we should be able to have wisdoms to bestow upon people, the youth, so they won't make the mistakes that we made. You know what I'm saying? That's what I said I like about YouTube. Because if I had YouTube at a younger age, like even today, there's so many young, rich teenagers and young, rich men and women because of YouTube. And I'm like, that is so dope. I would have been one of them. Definitely, because, I just know it. I would have took full advantage and I would have handled my business. Come on. I would have took full advantage to handle my business. So shout out to all you young, rich people. You know what I'm saying? But I just hope that you guys be getting rich in spirit. Because being rich, come on. Being rich in money without having any understanding can be detrimental. See, for real, it can be real detrimental. So, back to the delusions. There's so many levels of delusions, you guys. You know what I'm saying? There's so many levels of delusions. And when you're moving in sincerity, I think that's the key thing. Sometimes you might be moving under a delusion, and the Most High will protect you and starts to show you, start to remove certain people out your life because you entered into it with a lack of knowledge, but your heart was pure. So then he'll protect you, and then he'll show you. You know what I'm saying? He'll protect you, then he'll show you, okay, this wasn't supposed to be this way. This person wasn't supposed to be in your life. And you know it based upon what I showed you through them. So let them go, move on, but don't make that same mistake. So delusions can be based upon our ignorance, our not willingness to study. And we have to learn a hard lesson. Delusions can come based upon our rebelliousness. But the question is, it's important that we analyze our lives and making sure that our lives is pure with the Most High. And that's just the bottom line. So I pray that you guys clear up your delusions, analyze yourselves. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? A lot of us be knowing the person that we're with when it comes to relationships. A lot of us be knowing that person is not for us. You know what I'm saying? And we have to start making better decisions and choices. And that's just that. But peep out some of these podcasts where they have group panels, and the people's opinions be so pure to them, but it'd be so detrimental, and you're like, wow, that person's tripping. Those are examples of the delusions, a strong delusion. Okay. So with that, I hope everybody have a great day. Solo 3.0. Walking these dogs. Holla at y'all later on. Peace.